say this is a big rich town. I just come from the poorest part. Bright light, city lights, I gotta make it, this is where it goes down. I just happen to come apart. Legal or illegal, baby, I gotta make it.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another edition of Power After Hours, your favorite power podcast. I'm your host, Jeff J, joined by my co-host, Chrissy Bree, and we are here to review Season 6, Episode 3, Forgot About Dre. This man, your friend Dre. Let's talk about your friend Dre.
This is not my friend. I don't claim him.
Your cousin.
I don't claim that dude, bro. That was, I didn't see that coming. I didn't see what happened coming. Like, I pretty much have been able to call a few things on this show, but this one, like, I didn't realize how ruthless Dre really was. Like, I knew he was about that life. We've seen him do some things throughout the past few seasons, but damn.
Yeah.
Damn.
Yeah. You know, this episode, there's a lot of things to talk about with this episode, but just, going into Dre, you could see the change ever since he linked up with the Jimenez. He felt like he was like, he had the S on his chest. You know what I mean? Yeah. Once he put on the suit, he was the new age ghost. He wanted to be the distro. He was the guy who was the corner boy. He wanted to be that man. And I felt like he was put in a position where once the Jimenez, because you knew there was no way he was getting out clean.
No.
With the way everything was breaking, she knew he was going to ELISA Jimenez knew he was going to testify, and they were ready. They put the hit on the safe house, and him, we had a couple of deaths to characters who've been around for a little bit. R.I.P. Black Donovan, brother Jerry Donovan. You know what I'm saying?
I couldn't believe that. That actually made me sad because Donovan, in a way, was he was a little bit of the moral compass, right? Like, he, in a way, never let things go too far. Like, he knew what was right, he knew what was wrong, and he kind of just wanted to uphold the law in that way.
Right.
So to see him go out like that, it was a little bit sad to me because at the end of the day, I think he was trying to protect Dre's daughter.
Right.
You know what I mean? And to still take him after he says, yo, I've got a daughter too. Like, you can't do this. And Dre was just like cold stone murderer. You know what I mean? Like, and it was just, it's crazy to me because he still ends up he's still with them. So he thought he was going to be able to get away and they still snatched his ass up.
Well, first of all, what I appreciate about Donovan? Donovan is the black person at work who just be fed up with shit and sees everything happening and is just like, I try to tell y'all that every time plans go to shit, he's just shaking his head like, y'all don't listen. I try to tell you, y'all don't listen. Like, you know what I'm saying? And that was him, Mr. Donovan, that was him. Second of all, it was crazy when Drake kicks the gun away and he's like, yo, come on, man, I just saved your life. He's like, I didn't tell you to do that.
Yeah, I didn't tell you to do that shit. Like, nobody told you to step up and save me.
Right.
But Donovan was extremely smart. Like, he was a very smart officer. He just trusted too much that Dre was going to do the right thing. Like, he never should have dropped his gun. Even though the threat was gone from the Jimenez side of things, you still had a threat sitting right there next to you. Yeah. And it's unfortunate that's how he had to go.
So I don't know where Dre thought he was going when they picked him up. He looked like what's the old girl's name? Sparkle in the video. In the video when she was fed up. I was right. Yeah, it was crazy. He had the scarf, the hoodie on his head, the dark glasses. I was like, damn, man, your man cheated on you and you looking for restitution? Like, what's going on?
He wasn't going nowhere looking like that, bro. They snatched him up so damn quick.
Shout out to Dre for being a inexperienced dad, didn't know how to. Donovan, I'm telling you, he was always fed up. He got this baby cry. He's like, yo, you don't know how to hold her, taking him away from him and actually like showing him what to do. And Dre is like, you could tell his main priority is just staying alive at all costs, and that's what he was trying to do. And he's still caught in that cycle. He's still caught in that cycle no matter what. He gets bagged and they still want him to testify against ELISA because he is the way. Like, you could tell this DA's office is probably the worst DA's office in the history of television. All right. You got to think about Sachs. Sachs is the last, officially now the last man standing from that office, who's either he's either survived death or survived losing his termination in both ways, by termination of his life and termination of his employment, right? This unicorn bug that he has set up on Proctor. I think we spoke about it last week, but I don't know how he plans to use it. I'm thinking he's using it in a way where if he hears the information, he can try to set them up to catch them in whatever he's doing. Yeah. Because if Proctor's talking to Ghost, that's attorney-client privilege. Right. So you can't really use that in a court of law. Shout out to Billions. If anybody who watches Billions, if you saw the last season of Billions, you know why those wiretaps or whatever, after a certain time, if the lawyer is there, you really can't use it. I don't even know if Sachs got the proper clearance to
knowing
get that
him,
done.
he didn't.
Right.
Like, he's trash. Like, I think everything he's doing behind with this the mother of oh my God, what's the attorney's name? I can't even think of it. Proctor. Mm-hmm. I think everything he's doing with his ex is not on the books. I think he's doing it completely off script. So I agree with what you're saying. I think he's using it to catch them in something. Like, if that little unicorn had stayed downstairs, his daughter came downstairs and got the book bag, went upstairs when Ghost was there. Right. Had it have stayed downstairs, they would have known that Ghost was looking to get ELISA's location. They probably could have set him up. You understand what I'm saying? And just say, hey, we just kind of saw you there and we rolled with it. They don't ever have to say anything about the tap. Right.
And you could tell at this point, it's all or nothing for them. His new boss, Warner, tells him, like, yo, we need to, ELISA Jimenez is not going to be, not going to walk on my watch. By hook or by crook, we better get a conviction. He didn't even seemed like he was more inconvenienced that Donovan got killed than hurt about it. Like, dude,
he hasn't been there long enough to feel for him. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but at the same time, it's like he didn't even he felt like he was fed up. Like, you see another person that James St. Patrick. It's like, fam, Donovan just lost his life, bro. Like, they just stormed.
That's true.
But you could tell, like, they want whatever their brand of justice is. You feel me? Mm-hmm. And that's what they're trying to do. Even when he's interrogating ELISA Jimenez, and you could tell, like, I love those when they're questioning them and they're basically telling you what they're doing without telling you what they're doing. Where she's just like, yo, they try to cut the ultimate deal. Let her go back to Mexico. The Mexican government will, quote unquote, try her. And, and she even said it. I'm kind of going to be worried if I'm here. And that means Dre going to be worried. So why don't you just let me go home? And they can't go for that. Dre and them can't go for that at all.
Too much has happened. There has to be some type of justice for all the things that she and her brother had done. You understand what I'm saying? So that was never going to work. We knew he was never going to agree to that. But just the fact that she mentioned Dre, like, we know she ordered that hit on Dre. Everyone knows. So it was just like she told us she did it in her own way. You know what I mean?
Right.
To me, it was interesting to see Cooper even trying to make let her know what their plan was. What is it that you want to do? How are we going to handle this? Like, Cooper knows he has to get this done, but in the end, still didn't.
Right. Still literally blew up in their face, right? And you think about it, even when he was interrogating Dre about what happened in the safe house, Dre really thought he could just kill off Donovan and escape and everything's going to happen. But no, like, even the fact that they got out of that house was a miracle. But, one thing I'm watching is that him and Blanca kind of put the pieces together on what happened. When he was like, yo, why would Angela set up this set up Dre to implicate the Jimenez in all these crimes, which exonerates Ghost and Tommy and all of them. And then he was like, then he puts together, Angela and Steve Tampio were having a relationship, and they've pretty much figured out that Angela was working with everybody. They were all working together to clear everybody of the charges so that they could move on with their life. So now, but Saxe is still hell bent on bagging Ghost, but they also wanted Alicia's murder, so they're locking up to do both. And one thing that Courtney Kemp said was that if a character knows too much, that usually means they're on the chopping block. So now that Saxe, at some point, they're gonna have to take care of him. Somebody gonna have to take care of him one way or another. So we'll see how that is. We'll see how that is going forward, and we'll get to what happened in that courthouse a little bit later. But yeah, do you want to talk about your the Democratic nominee for governor of New York, Councilman Tate?
I listen.
Why are you fed up?
I'm lost for words. I don't even know how to talk about his opening scene in this episode tonight. But yeah, it was good. It was good. Everyone has been asking for for his character to get shirtless. Like it's what we expect of him. You know what I mean? But I didn't expect that. It was a good scene. I thought it was well done, well directed.
Mm-hmm.
And now he's got problems, though. We've got a new character walking in, which I feel like I've seen her in one of our other shows on CW before.
The actress playing Ramona Garrity.
Yeah, I feel like she was in Arrow or something. I can't place it.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it for you. I'm gonna look it up while you do. But now that you say it, we've definitely seen her in something.
We've seen her before. So her face was very familiar to me, but she brings a whole new set of problems. She walked in Tate's office and was like, "Listen, you're fired. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Bye. Thank you for your service. Have a great day." I was like, oh, okay. If somebody walked in my office and announced that I was fired like that, I would definitely, it would be like a upheaval. I would go ape shit. But yeah, I understand where she's coming from. Her job is basically to get him to win. She is coming in with her team to move everything around, find out what's really going on, fix it, and give him the position that he needs in this race. So I understand where she's coming from. She's a no-take bullshit ass female, and I love that about her. I do think her emotion side with James is going to get a little bit muddy. I feel like they're about to have some type of relationship. It's coming.
Right. You see how her eyes lit up when he said he was getting a divorce, right?
Man,
she had that look like it's lit. She was like, it's lit. And she, she's a political operative, and she's somebody who actually could empathize with Tasha and with Ghost a little bit. Basically they need Ghost and Tasha to keep up this appearance as a couple until Tate gets elected, and then they can do whatever they want. And she kind of bonds with her over that, saying like, yo,
I did the same thing, probably.
My ex-husband ain't shit. He did XYZ. But sometimes we gotta, do these things, and Tasha was able to flip that into this whole daycare plan that she has. And shout out to her mom for being fed up. Every black mom in America, she was like, yo, that's the reason why I'm retired, right? Like, I don't want to start a new job. I'm retired.
Now we both got to get jobs.
Right. She's like, you would have took care of your marriage. You wouldn't have to be talking about opening up a damn daycare. But, she empathizes with that, and then with Ghost in terms of wanting to repair their reputations. Because now she, that whole situation with her senator ex-husband who was cheating on her, whatever the case may be, she has some type of reputation repair to do. And just off the fact that, I think we need another love interest for Ghost or somebody to throw a wrench into everything. So why not her? And you know, shout out to Tate. Yo, the fact that he beat down Derek, his staffer, and then he's laying the pipe to his wife, Derek's wife.
When she said, "It's bigger than you, way, way bigger than you," I was like, "Oh Lord, if he don't know that she is cheating on him today," like his face was like, "Wait a minute, what?"
Yeah, he was like, you looked at a little too passionately. Why are you looking at this dude like that for? Like, you all right?
It was lit. I was like, he's got to know something's up at this point. Because at first, I thought this was just some random chick. I didn't know who she was. And then when they panned to her in the office, I was like, damn, this is some shit.
Yo,
but I love it. I love
literally, it. You hate to see it. If you're Derek, you hate to see it. But you know, the fact that they want Ghost more involved in the campaign, you could tell it's for his money. He's financially supplying the campaign, financially supplying him. So that's what it is. But it's going to be interesting to see where, like, how that dynamic evolves. And you were right. Looked it up. I can't believe I forgot that she was Amanda Waller. She was Amanda Waller on Arrow. Yeah,
that's what I thought.
I think she might have had like a shorter hairstyle or something like that.
No, I don't even think so. I think she looked I just remember her looking like that, and she had scenes with Oliver. Yeah. I distinctly remember her character because people were mad that they didn't use the Waller from. They wanted.
Like how Viola Davis looked, right? Like that look. Yeah.
And so they were mad that that's who they went with because she's not normally a skinny character. I remember so I just couldn't remember what character she was, but I just remembered her face.
Right. Yeah. Cynthia Dye Robinson. Yeah, no, like looking at her now, I was like, yeah, she was Amanda Waller. That's right. I
was like, I feel like we've talked about her before.
Right. Exactly. We've definitely mentioned this woman before. So, yo, a lot. It's a lot is happening in this episode. So, you know, the dynamic between Tommy and Ghost and Tasha. Tommy now wants to bring Keisha into the operation and get her involved and get her around everything. And you could tell the rest of the Primeras are kind of like, what's going on? Like, why is she around? Like, what is he thinking? What is she doing? But she wants to set up and be more of a part of it, but I'm not sure she's really about that life.
I mean, she
gets put to the test, and for the most part she passes, but you could tell the reluctance, you know what I mean, with her being around everything and wanting to be curious. Once again, the notion that Tommy has too much money to clean. It almost reminded me of Breaking Bad, where at one point Walter White had so much bread,
right?
He just literally could not clean it as much as he had it, and that dynamic between Keisha and Tasha, where Tasha, she doesn't want to mess with Tasha anymore. Even the fact of suggesting to Tasha that they use Keisha's salon again to clean the money, where Tasha's like, yo, yeah, we could do that, but your girl don't mess with me no more. And I don't know how that's going to work.
It's not going to work. I think the problem with Keisha is that she is too emotionally invested. When you're dealing with the business side of things, being emotionally invested in something is not smart. You have to learn to separate. This is why I say never go into business with friends, because you have to figure out how to separate business from personal. And I don't think she's really going to be able to do that, because if she was about that business and really about that life with what he's doing, you would be going to Tasha, letting her know this is what we're going to do, XYZ, because my man needs XYZ and we need to keep his business running properly. But she's not going to do that because she's so hell-bent on proving a point to Tasha. So she's not going to do that.
Right.
If she does, I'll be shocked.
Right. And she's down to clean the money too, but she's literally putting Tommy in a position where he has to choose between her or he has to choose between Keisha or Tasha. And now he's like, yeah, fuck Tasha, whatever. And I'm like, Tommy, all right, you lying to your girl, all right, watch this come back and slap you right upside the head. We gonna see that. We were talking for the whole series so far, we've been talking about how Jason Mittich has been playing both sides between Tommy and Ghost and getting the maximum, extorting both of them in order to get the most out of the relationship that he has. And you could even see that where out of nowhere, this man is finally fed up that Alicia Jimenez is still alive. And instead of getting her killed in federal custody, he wants to capture her alive and bring her and confront her himself. So he gets Tommy and Ghost both. He charges both of them with trying to go capture her alive. And, you know, they're both kind of like, what the fuck? Like, yo, this is federal custody. Like, what do you want us to do? And he's just like, yo, make it happen. Like, you know, even with Ghost, he's like, yo, I'll waive one of your payments if you do it. All you got to do is repay your debts. And this is the debt that you have to me. So do it. One thing that I like, you know, 50 Cent directed this episode, and I loved the way they did the conversation. They displayed the conversation where Tommy was in the chair and then Jason went to go get a drink and then he turns around and then Ghost is in the chair and they show that he's making the same deal with both of them. That was a fly shot in the episode.
I love that. And at first I thought, damn, did my thing fast forward? Like, what the fuck? I didn't know, because it was so clean the way they made the edit. So it just threw me off a little bit. But I do agree it was done very well. And it's crazy to me that he would set them both with this task, and it really could have blown up in his face. Essentially, they could have intersected, and it would have been a problem. You understand what I'm saying? Like, what if they were both at the same spot at the same time? And it's like, yo, then he's got to make a decision. Do I want to kill Ghost? Do I want to kill Tommy? It could have gone the wrong way had Ghost not realized what was going on. Ghost is smart in that sense, but he's also dumb in the sense that he thought he was going to be able to do that by himself. Right. Like, you by yourself was going to get her and you're dressed as a repairman. Ghost. Like, this was never going to work, dog. Like, I didn't see how he thought that was going to play for him. Like, it just didn't make sense.
It's almost like he drew the wrong lot in disguises to have, and it was like, I don't know where you go with that. And, yo, speaking of the episode, before we go further, the National Nightmare is over. Yeah. We have the original theme song back.
Yes.
Shout out to 50 Cent. You were able, one of the biggest internet trolls in the history of hip hop was able to get pressured into bringing the original theme song back. You don't understand the amount of elation that I saw on my timeline, people tagging us and stuff, where the theme song is back. Power, it feels like everything is right with the world.
Y'all know we was upset about that damn Trey song. Don't ever bring that back. And when he goes in and does the edits after the scene is finally done and you release this shit on DVD, you better put that original theme song back on those first 2 episodes. Don't you bring that shit on the DVD, 50. I'm not playing. We don't want it.
You better have like an extra where he's talking about, yeah, man, I was just playing with the motherfuckers. I didn't know.
But I do not want that shit on my DVD. Get that shit out of here. Figure it out, 50, but I don't want it.
Like I said,
it was terrible.
You could put it on Power Confidential. Just leave our stories alone, all right? Leave our damn stories alone. Give us the original theme song, the pain, the anguish, the agony, you know what I'm saying? And you know, I can say now that Power is the people's show. It really is. It powers the people's show. There's no way you could tell me different. But yeah, I love the fact that Proctor, Tommy and Ghost both came to Proctor to ask to get information on where Alicia was. And you could tell Proctor's all the way fed up. Proctor is all the way fed up. He don't want no more parts. And he divulges the information.
Tommy was still dead. He thought Tommy was still dead.
Yeah.
Like, nobody told him that Tommy was alive.
I forgot about that.
Like, what the fuck? When Tommy walked in, he was like, wait a minute. Who are you? Like, are you a
pinching
ghost?
himself?
Like, he was like, I'm back from the grave, motherfucker. And I'm like, Tommy, chill.
Yo, seriously. Like, I didn't even, like, dead ass. I was like, yeah, because he didn't. Proctor really doesn't hang in those circles, and he didn't go to the funeral, so he didn't know. So, you know, and I love the scene. I love it where Tommy comes over and ELISA, his daughter's bag is there, and the unicorn is there, and then she ends up coming back down and getting the bag. She's like, I just have to get this. So she takes the bag out, and there's no way that Sax hears the conversation. It was funny where he was like, you gonna be a lawyer like your old man, and she's looking at him like, you're dirty. I know you're dirty. I know you're a bad man. Don't talk to me.
Her face was just so disgusted, like,
right.
Don't talk to me.
Yeah, right. You wanna get to this this court scene and this EMT scene with Alicia. So first of all, shout out to Tommy. His plan was pretty much solid. They had somebody on the inside who was gonna drug Alicia in the courtroom so that she has to go to the bathroom, and then they were to extract her from the bathroom, being fake EMTs to go assist her. Now the one part of their plan, which is where Keisha helped, was that they needed to know when she was in the bathroom so that they could go in, and Keisha went into the women's bathroom, chill in the stall to like text them that they were there. They were able to come in. It was a lot going on. First of all, the fact that Ghost was in there with just a hat on and nobody knew who Ghost was, but I don't know what he was thinking he was going to do with that elevator repairman, whatever. Like, what was he going to stop the elevator, kill everybody, and then take Alicia? I don't know. But you could see Dre walks in on Alicia and he gets shook. Then Dre sees Ghost and is like, wait, what the hell is he doing here? When everything's going on. And then they're able to extract her, and Tommy sees, Ghost sees Tommy and sees like, oh shit. Because I guess he was going to scoop her from the EMTs, and then realizes, oh shit, that's Tommy. This is the plan. You set us both up. Like, this is crazy. But what did you think of that scene?
I like I said, I looked at this show for the past 6 seasons now as Ghost being the brain. He's always been pretty smart with coming up with a plan, and to finally see Tommy come up with something so solid and smart and tactical, like, it kind of threw me off. Like, It's like we've watched Tommy grow up these past few seasons, and he's really had to make some strong decisions, and he did that. Like that, it was a flawless plan. Like, he had it banded out from X to Z. Like, he even had the person who drugged her get the cup back so that they can't test the cup. Like, It was extremely smart plan. Little things like that go a long way so that they can't trace it back to him. So I love the way he executed that plan. I wish, I love how they kind of edited it out, so we didn't have to see them go for the chase. You know what I mean? When the car stopped the officers from following the ambulance, we didn't have to see a chase. It was not drawn out. We got straight to the point. So I did like that side of it as well.
One misstep that I saw, the thing where I definitely saw it, I was like, oh, that's stupid. Like, I said it out loud. When Keisha left the bathroom, I'm like, where are the cops? Where's all the people? Like, nobody just stayed outside waiting for her to go? Because I couldn't remember, because I guess they took Alicia out first in the EMTs, and then she left afterwards. I can't remember which happened first.
That's not how they edited it.
She left before they left.
First.
Right. Like, that was either a editing blunder or it just doesn't make sense, because you're talking about the first person to leave the bathroom is her, and nobody sees her. All
their backs were just miraculously turned.
Right, and nobody says anything about it. Like, I was just like, that was like, that didn't work.
Also, how do you not have a female officer escorting a female inmate? That didn't make sense to me either.
Right.
There usually is always going to be a female there. This is just as the wife of an officer. Sorry, guys. There's always going to be a female there escorting a female inmate, just in case something like that does happen. So it did kind of shock me that there wasn't a female officer in the bathroom with her.
Right.
Like, there was nobody in that entire building to come and watch her. So these are little things, like, that's things that I catch, but it's not a big deal in the grand scheme of things.
Right.
I guess,
at this point with Power, if that was the only major glaring thing in the episode, you just, make it, you just keep it moving, but you acknowledge it. That was because I've seen majority good things said about this episode. It's been a little split. Some people wasn't feeling it really with the season. Some people wasn't feeling it. Some people were feeling it. I thought the episode, I don't know. That's what I said. Like, I don't know what they really wanted from this episode, but I thought the episode was really dope. Once again, shout out to Fifth. Direction wise, it felt like power. It felt like it had that power feel, and the little devices that he used in order to convey certain points of emphasis on certain people. Even that even the whole court scene, like the way she starts choking, and then her lawyer starts speaking to her in Spanish, like, yo, what's going on? And then she wakes up and she's in the warehouse with Mittich, and Mittich. I
didn't even tell you what my favorite part was. But go ahead. We haven't talked about it.
Okay.
I'm just waiting to get to it.
So like, Mittich finally has her. Once the ports, she gets a smoke. She just asks for a smoke and tells him to go fuck himself because. And what's funny, what she said, the people who did this to me are eventually going to do this to you. They're going to double cross you too. And he kills her, takes her off the board. And it's funny because I was wondering the same thing when Tommy was like, yo, you had us go through all this trouble just to kill her. Like, what, like, for what? And he's like, yo, I just wanted to do it myself. Like, that's some like crazy distro mob boss shit. And you think at that point he would be open to eliminating his problem, which is why at the end of the episode when Ghost called him, like, yo, can see he's playing both sides. I can
tell you why Tommy didn't roll with that.
Right. He tells him, like, yo, we should take him out together. And he basically tells Ghost, fuck out of here and cancel Christmas.
But he thought about it.
For a hot second.
It was not until Ghost said, listen, I've always been better at this than you, that Tommy was like, you know what? Fuck you. Because Tommy cannot stand when Ghost plays that trump card with him. Ghost has always done that to him. He's belittled him as if he was the little dude. And so once he said that, Tommy was like, man, fuck you. But going back, I don't even know if people caught this shit. Once he killed ELISA, did y'all not see Tommy bend down and pick up her cigarette and smoke the shit?
Oh, no, I think I missed it.
That shit, it was so fucking dope. Before he left the room, he bent down, picked up the cigarette that was still lit, and he kept smoking that shit. It was so fucking dope.
I gotta go back and watch that.
Because nobody was tweeting about it. And I was like, yo, did I really just see that? Like, I rewound, and he really did that shit.
Yo, those are like the little things that I'm telling you. Like, I can't believe I missed that. But yo, that's Tommy.
Yes, it was so fucking dope. And I was like, dang, that was my favorite part because it was something little like that, like you just said, that's Tommy.
Yeah.
Like he's had those moments since the beginning of this series and you're just like, yo, whatever the fuck, that's Tommy. So it was just one of those moments that I appreciated from, 50 and just the whole writing, it was amazing to see him do that. I thought it was dope as fuck. So if nobody else caught that, like I couldn't believe that little moment was not caught by anybody.
Right. I would say, like in terms of the feel, in terms of everything, that whole build up to that was dope. I loved when Ghost double cross confronts Proctor about kind of like almost double crossing him, like not telling. Yeah. He's like, yo, you didn't tell me that you gave Tommy this information. Probably like, well, you didn't tell me this nigga was alive. Like, what's up?
What you want me to do?
So now that the Queen's Child Project, they ran out of money. Tate ran out of money for it. And he tells them, we need private equity. Like, you need that money. We introduce Simon Stern back. Who's going to give him a low. Yo, how about Stern gets a load at 3%, and Ghost is like, yo, mine was at 15%. He's like, white lives matter, James.
I love his character.
He's like, can you believe that they would give you a higher interest rate because you're black? That's just not right.
The dude speaks the same way in every damn show. Look at every show
Victor Garber, yeah.
Been in.
The guy.
He is the same tone, same voice, and it's always effective.
And it hits different every time. He's a phenomenal, Victor Garber's a phenomenal actor, man. And you think about it, we got two Arrowverse people with him and Cynthia, who played Waller, and Victor, who was Professor Stein. You know what I'm saying? So now he has a stake and ownership in the Queen's Child Project, which it almost feels like slowly but surely he's setting the pieces up to get his revenge on Ghost for taking all of his properties.
Yeah. It's all going to come to a head at some point. I think the point of that I'm starting to realize with this season is we're seeing everything around Ghost crumble. And not just Ghost. Like, we've watched the past 6 seasons where it has been things with Ghost crumbling. He left the business, XYZ, but he's always been able to maintain James St. Patrick. We are also seeing that side of him crumble. Right. So to me, it's very interesting how they're putting all of these pieces in place. And eventually he's going to be surrounded by them and he's going to have to make a decision. And I don't think that decision is going to result in him being alive, honestly.
Right. Yeah. So a couple of other things, Tariq, this man, Tariq, you see that he's finally run out of the pills that Kanan gave him. So he needs a connect. And he kind of hides that from his new crew. You could tell that he does like Effie in some way. The fact that he was able to kick his roommate slash his quote unquote business partner and the other chicks out the room just so that they could talk and play chess. I thought that was hilarious because if anybody's lived on campus or went away to college, your roommate come in and try to kick you out so that he could have company. That's a fight. Or you
try to come to your room and something's on the door and that means, yo, don't come in for the night. I'm busy.
Right.
Oh,
the vibes.
Where I'm supposed to go? Sleep on the couch in the quad?
Well, shout out to the roommates that at least put something on the door and didn't just bring their significant others in to get it rocking while you're quote unquote sleeping.
You're right. That I will agree with. Thank you for letting us know. I had one roommate who always did that shit. Appreciate you, Jessica.
Yo, I listen, it was like, college is a time, man. Like, I never understood, like, we all just don't care, right? We all just don't care. Like, I'm gonna go to sleep. No. I'm gonna try to close my eyes. I'm gonna cover my ears. Y'all do what y'all do. Like, the most resourceful times in my lifetime. One thing I felt that was interesting to me about the conversation Effie and Tariq had when they basically bonded over sibling deaths. Raina dying, sad, and then Effie said her brother died in a botched robbery. So I started thinking, and I was like, botched robbery.
Essentially, that's what happened.
But who's her brother? Could Ray be her brother? Could one of the people in the crew, like Brains or one of them, be her brother? And
a lot of people are speculating that she's somebody.
Right. So when she said a botched robbery, remember, that's what they were saying that Ray's murder was. Because they didn't really know. They not until Keisha, they set it up or whatever, when they did the whole setup with Kanan and all of that, did they know that it was... And I'm not even sure it was 100% said that Ray was a dirty cop. Because they set up Kanan for everything that was going on. And I think I can't remember. I apologize. I can't remember. I can't go back. But did they implicate him in the both of them in the deaths? Right? Because I think it was that Kanan. They basically said Kanan killed Raina, and Kanan was the mastermind behind everything. Like they were that was the way they were able to get Tariq off. Right. Right. So I'm like, So in the back of my mind, I'm like, who was your brother and how does it tie to Tariq?
It's always something with this damn show. I don't know why my brain did not register that. Like, usually I'm like a little detective. Shout out to Live PD. I be watching that shit. I'm invested. So I usually catch stuff like that, but I for some reason that did not dawn on me.
Yeah, once she said that, I was like,
Yeah, it's that. I know she's got to be somebody. They didn't just place her there to be his love interest. It's way more than that.
Right.
The question is she working with the feds and we don't know yet? Or
that, but...
is she just somebody who wants revenge Or is she just innocent and doesn't know anything and she's going to find out at some point?
Well, I think sending her to the school just to get Tariq that's a very expensive hit job. I think it may be the quote unquote coincidence. That's what I'm thinking. So, we'll definitely see about that.
Is that college though, Jeff?
It's high school. It's like boarding school.
I was like, wait a minute, because I see it in college.
Because Choda's a real place.
Smart.
Choda's actually a real spot. It's like it's like a sleepaway high school, like a boarding school type thing.
Oh, I did not know that. Okay.
Yeah, but it's like super private, super rich that you go up there and do whatever. So, I like the scene with Ghost and Tariq where Ghost is like, yo, Tommy's alive. And he tries to act like, oh, shoot, Tommy's alive? That's crazy. He's like, motherfucker, how long you knew?
How long did you know? He's like, if we're going to be in this together, you got to rock with me, man. Yeah. Like, you can't.
I told you, Tommy can't be trusted, son.
But when Tariq hugged him, bro, Tariq was like laughing behind his back. Like, you ain't nobody
it's like, you can trust me. We'll see. Shout out to Tasha for being a classic, for going into classic black mob mode when Ghost can't take Yaz for the weekend. He comes in. Tariq is fed up because he don't got a bed. He come back home. He don't got a bed. But I felt seen. I felt seen a little bit when your room is given away or there's changes when you go away and come back.
Your room becomes like the workout room,
right?
Or some bullshit. The sewing room.
It becomes a hobby room or whatnot.
Yeah,
like mine never went that far, but I definitely knew it was like what's this shit? Like somebody sleeping in my bed. You know what I'm saying? It was like something like that. But yeah, he tries to give his mother money because he's looking like, yo, how you afforded this? You need money, and tries to give her the drug money, and she says that it was Kanan's, and she don't want it. And he's like, Kanan wasn't all that bad, and she's like, yo, we're gonna talk about this later. But even funnier,
said, I will burn that shit if you don't get it off my table.
Tasha comes in, Ghost comes in. How much did you pay for this place, Tasha? And Tariq goes, not enough. And she kicks both of them out. She's like, all right, y'all both fed up. Take your son and get the hell out my house. Y'all don't like y'all don't like how I'm living? Then you go live with each other.
She put her hands up and she walked out like, fuck this shit. I don't have time for this. Both of y'all get out my crib. Like, so, I mean, I don't think Tariq, it's like he has a slick mouth, but she was trying to explain to him, like, look, son, I've separated from your father. Things just aren't the same as it used to be. Like, you have to work with me right now. And then I think when you have privileged ass kids who've never had to really essentially work for anything, everything's been handed to them. They've never had to struggle, like to go down a little bit. It's hard for kids to understand that. So a part of me kind of understood Tariq's mentality. But at the same time, I was like, bruh, like you want to be who you want to be, but you're not listening. He doesn't listen. Right. She was explaining it to him. Like she was being extremely real with him. She could have lied. She could have made something up, but she was like, listen, like we don't have it right now. Give me a break. And he couldn't even do that.
Exactly. Yeah, and it's going to be interesting to see who Tariq's new connect is. He might go back to the Italians again. Who knows? Maybe he even gets caught up with Mitich. You don't know. Like he's gonna need a new distro at some point to make that money at school. So we're gonna see, and maybe that's because I feel like at some point Mitich is gonna cross the line where Tommy and Ghost have to reluctantly work together. But I do appreciate the fact that initially it isn't going to happen because that would be too easy for them to just make, because we saw that already with Lobos. So the fact that now Tommy's like, yo, it's on site when I see you and I don't want to work with you.
Christmas on your ass.
Yeah, right. Cancel Christmas is back. A couple of things before we get to the reader questions and comments. When Sax is talking about how she slept with Tampio and all this going on, Blanco's like, I don't know how that happens. He's like, have you seen his cheekbones?
Yeah.
He's like, she's like, what? Like, I mean, he's a handsome guy. I ain't gonna front. You know what I'm saying? Like,
she's so stern and he's just such an idiot. Like, he's like the honest clown. Like, there's always one, bro.
Yeah. And then, homeboy working with Tariq. When Tariq is talking to me, and he's like. And he calls him nigga, and he's like, yo, that's the second time you called me the N-word. Does that mean that I get to say it now? And him and Effie are both like, no, at no point, niet.
Walk the fuck out.
Cease operations. And I like how he asked it in earnest. Like, I'm just trying to figure out the rules, guys.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, at least he asked and didn't assume and just blurt the shit out. I respect him for asking.
Yeah, he's just like, yo, where, do I just say it with y'all? Do I get to?
He was trying to set the ground rules and shit.
Word.
And they was like, no, absolutely not. Get the fuck out. Like,
Word.
Don't even try that shit.
Exactly.
Ground rules for the word.
Yo, I was crying.
Can I say it when there's a song on? Like, they always try
but
that
what
shit.
if it's a chorus? It's like, I like Welcome to the Party too. It's like, I want to get lit. Do I just
that shit with niggas in Paris? And I was like, absolutely not. Don't you do it.
Shoot. You go to some of them shows though, and you listen.
It's swung on. Don't do it.
He said, act up. You could act up if you want, right?
Listen.
All right, let's get. Actually, let me go to this first. Shout out to everybody who sends in questions as always.
Great. Shout out to everybody in my Power Facebook group. It was like a thread of like 45 people. Dana Kendrick runs it. And she had a whole thread on the girl's name being Ellie. Now, I don't know what IMDb you were looking at, sis, but her name is definitely Effie. And I had to break it down to her. She was like, oh, I wasn't wearing my glasses. Like, she wrote a whole paragraph on how the name Ellie means the lie. Like, I was crying laughing when I had to break her spirits and say the girl's name was Effie. Like, I'm sorry, guys.
Guys, when I tell you I was fed up, it was peak Facebook. This woman sends me the screenshot, and I said, well, first off, her name is Effie. And I'm asking her, I'm like, did you get into my aunt and uncle's power group? Because what in the hell, Facebook? What in the hell?
It was such a Gumwin thing to do, you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. And I'm like, yo, come on, man. All right, let's get to these questions before we get out of here. Shout out to that dude Diggs. Proctor's the most stressed dude on the show right now. How long before you think he says F it and brings the laptop back into play?
The laptop.
I think the only way he brings that into play is if they somehow catch him in something on that wiretap that they can actually use, and he gets caught between a rock and a hard place and has to save himself, or he's finally fed up with Ghost protecting Tommy and everything going on, and he's just gonna go do that and use the laptop. But I think he's gonna be put in a position where he uses it purposely or accidentally. But I do think at some point that laptop is coming back into play.
They have to bring it back. They made too big of a deal with it to begin with for it to not become a piece of something at some point. So I agree, it's gonna come back. Just don't know for what.
Right. Let's see. Shout out to Shawnee. Here's her comments. I hate to say this, but I don't want Tariq to die yet. Keisha, though.
She's expendable.
Yeah, Keisha's on the block. I agree with that. Effie cannot be trusted. Proctor is on borrowed time. And shout out to Tapatio Tara, who also asks, which attorney do you think will make it to the end, Proctor or Sachs? So between them two,
well, they both know too much.
Right.
Proctor more than Sachs. Proctor knows he knows the truth. Sachs is speculating at this point. Proctor actually knows the truth. So I when I think about character, I try not to get too deep in their lives. Like, for me, I would be sad if Proctor died because he is everything to his daughter. That would make me really, really sad if he ends up dying because of that. That mother does not deserve that child. And as a mother, that kills me to say that, but she don't deserve that little girl. That little girl don't want to be with her mom anyway. So I hope they keep him alive just for that. Yeah.
I don't think either one of them are going to make it to the end. But if I had to pick one, I would probably say Sachs, because he just finds a way. He always finds a way. And he hasn't been in the mix yet to like be in a position. He never gets put in a position where he gets caught out there. Like the only way is if people go to his house or whatever, but that hasn't even happened yet. So he always just finds a way to weasel out of situations. So if I had to put betting money on, I'd put Sachs, just because Proctor's always in the line of fire.
Takes me back to like Greg, when Greg knew too much. They got rid of his ass. Like,
he just kept pressing. Mans couldn't leave it alone. RIP to the official Angry Black Man of Power, aka Donovan, and Stern's White Lives Matter comment had me dead. Yeah, that was crazy. Shout out to Power TV fans, brother behind it who is one of the biggest Power Twitter accounts. Shouts us out all the time, retweets us. Had a couple of questions. Definitely, let's get to it. We most got to hear your take. We got to hear your take on Councilman Tate's sex scene, and do you believe Ghost and Tommy against Jason? Kind of spoke about that. The Tate sex scene was just hilarious. It was nothing but euphemisms, and he has excellent concentration. I will say that.
Bruh, I couldn't believe it. I was like, how is he handling this phone call while he's getting some head? It was a lot. I was like, either she not doing her job or he's just really good at concentrating. So, the scene itself was lit. I don't necessarily talk about sex scenes that much, but his scene was lit. Not going to deny it.
Yeah, I mean, you have the right, you get into the right mental state and anything is possible, but you could tell he was at the point where he's like, I really like this, but I really have to answer this call. And she's like strategizing with him while they're having sex, which was hilarious. Like, I'm talking about big hilarious. So yeah, it is what it is. Like y'all got y'all Love Jones on, y'all ladies, men, whoever. Like y'all got y'all scenes. So And
he said that on Instagram too. He was like, y'all been asking for the shirt off. Here you go. I was like, all right, thank you.
All right. Here's another one.
What was the second half of the question? Didn't he have two?
Yeah, from Power TV fans. Fuck, marry, kill Lakeisha, Tasha, or Angela.
Okay. Fuck Tasha. Marry Angela, kill Keisha.
Ooh.
I feel like Angela is the make love type person,
right.
Not the,
I think I would. Yeah. I think I would flip that though. I think I would say, fuck Angela, marry Tasha, kill Lakeisha. Kill Lakeisha because she don't know what's going on.
Keisha dies no matter what.
This is metaphorical, by the way, guys. Relax. I'd say marry Tasha because she's already been in the mix and she's shown that she's like really ride and will ride or whatever. So.
But essentially, Angela did too.
She did.
I mean,
it's really a flip of a coin. It's really the flip of a coin. But
your preference.
Well, you got to when you go into super illicit activity, I'll lean a little bit with Tasha. But God forbid you're in the life, she ain't gonna let you leave. What you think you're gonna do? Be a banker? Be an accountant? Fuck out of here. So yeah. So thank you for those questions. Shout out to Michelle, Grady One, Shelly. I think Tariq, Braden, and Effie are like Ghost, Tommy, and Angie. Yeah, I definitely see a spinoff with their dynamics. Your thoughts? If that Power Book 2 Ghost is following Tariq post this show, that's probably what it's going to be. Like what he's doing at show and what he does afterwards. And I could see them being characters in the show. If that spinoff is not a prequel, I can see that. What about you?
Yeah, I can see it. Like you said, if she's not what we're speculating her to be, as far as knowing more and who her brother is, I don't know that they're necessary. How far will their relationship go before she figures that out? Or if she already, you know what I mean? It just depends on what they are doing with her character right now. I'm not sure. There's still a lot of episodes left.
Right.
So I'm not sure. Can't call it.
No doubt. Shout out to Justin Aviles. I am Justin Rich. Am I the only one who caught Ghost referring to Tariq as Tasha's son when he was at her place? And will that lead to a bigger divide between Ghost and Tariq? If that hasn't led to a bigger divide between black children and their mothers and fathers, then I don't think it is. Because when they do something wrong, they're the other parent's son.
Get your son.
Get your son. Get your daughter. I think that's just like one of those colloquial things where it's like, let me tell you what your son did.
Yeah,
but then when they do something good, did you know my son got straight A's in school? It's like,
when they do good, it's fine. When he fucks up, it's
right. That possession hit different, huh?
Yep. I don't think it was anything like it was meant to be. I feel like it's just what every black parent does. To be honest with you.
Shout out to She Spooked. Uncle Tommy and Ghost need to stop playing with our emotions and get together again and start canceling Christmas on several people.
They will.
I think at some point you got to get one more. If they were ending the series, we got to get one more Ghost and Tommy team up out of our system before it's all said and done.
They're gonna give that to us. Just be patient. Like I said, like what Jeff said, like they can't do it the first go. Like it's gonna have to be something else that's gonna be deeper to bring them together. Somebody's either going to die that matters to them, or in order to save their asses from, being killed or going to jail, they're going to have to team up. So it'll happen. It's just not going to happen right now.
Right. And shout out to Tatiana Exo during the Power Watch, who said Tasha don't even watch her own damn kids talk about starting daycare.
Bitch, that ain't the most real shit I ever heard. Her mom is watching her kid, dog. Right.
And I mean, at this point, Yaz looked like she about to be 16. She could probably watch herself too.
But why are they making her talk like a baby? That's what kind of threw me off. Like,
I don't know how old she is. Is she 4?
She's very tall. Like, my son is 3 and he's 3 foot something.
Right.
She's taller than he is.
Right.
So when he said, go on your own, play with your toy, and she was like, yeah, daddy. And I was like, she look a little too big for that.
She might be older than the age that they're making her play, but I think at this point, you might as well have her say full sentences, have a whole soliloquy. We already know she old. We hadn't seen her. You might as well, at this point. Like, I didn't even know how old Cash was, for real. So when he came in and was talking, I was like, oh, okay, I'll roll with it because we ain't see this man all series. So we do that. You know what I mean? T. Griff, I want Proctor to make it to the end and get his daughter. You said that. So, this is it, man. Like I don't know. If it's gonna happen. I'd like for it to happen. I hope the daughter stays safe in the series.
Yeah. Jeff, don't do that.
I'm just saying. I don't want to do it.
So Raina, R.I.P.
Right. But we'll see. We'll see. But thank you all for sending in your questions and your commentary. That's pretty much it from us. You got any other thoughts on the episode, Chrissy?
Nah, man. I want everybody to go back, though, and watch that Alicia Jimenez scene and see Tommy pick up that cigarette and hit me up. Like, I just want everybody to see it because it kills me that I'm the only one that caught that. Y'all be my friend and go watch it.
Yeah, I'll say let 50 Cent direct another episode. Let him direct. He did his thing. Like, honestly, not even on some hype. Like, as far as direction and the vision that you have and how you execute the vision and the different cuts and the edit. Other than that whole court scene with the Keisha and all of that, I say that's the only misstep. But the overall tone felt like Power. Felt like everything he said about Power, and he was able to exude it and exemplify it in what he showed. And this is a dude, love him or hate him. This is a dude who had a lot of like talents outside of rap, and just storytelling like is something that he can do, and he's showing that through different mediums. I thought it was a solid debut, and I'd like to see more from him just to see his perspective. So, we'll see. So
I agree.
That does it for us. As always, you can follow Power After Hours on Twitter. Use the hashtag Power After Hours anytime you're talking about Power. You can find us on all social media. I'm Jeff J Says. Chrissy, where can they find you?
You can find me on Twitter at Chrissy's_kitchen and on Instagram at Chrissy Bree.
Wild Difficult got multiple names running.
Listen, I gotta cook. Let me cook.
That's got to be your tagline now for Chrissy's Kitchen. Yeah, amen. I gotta cook. That's got to be it. That's got to be it from now on. Yeah, the first one is free. Future consultations require a percentage that we will talk about later.
Blah, blah, blah.
All right, y'all. Thanks once again for joining us, and until next time, we will catch you later.
Peace.
I want you to sing it with me. They say this is a big rich town. Yeah. I just come from the lowest part. Right like city life, I gotta make it. This is where it goes. Yeah, I just have to love. Wait a minute. They say this is a big rich. Say what? I just come from the right light, city light. This is where it goes down. Yeah. I just have to know. Legal, baby, I gotta make it.
South Side.